Welcome to Newsday on the BBC. I'm Sharonjit Lael in Singapore.
And I'm Kasia Madeira in London. Here are the headlines. President Obama is about to confirm he's pulling more than 30,000 US troops out of Afghanistan by next summer. We'll carry his address live from the White House.
And 2 months in detention, now prominent Chinese artist Ai Weiwei has been released by the authorities. It's 8 a.m. here in Singapore.
And it's 1 a.m. here in London, broadcasting to viewers in the UK and around the world. This is Newsday. Hello and welcome. President Obama is about to make a televised address from the White House.
Welcome to Newsday on the BBC. I'm Babita Sharma in Singapore.
And I'm Rico Hizon in London. The headlines. Confusion over the Syrian peace conference. An opposition group says it's pulling out after Iran was invited to the talks. Running battles on the streets of Kiev. Now the country's president launches a new initiative to try and end the violence.
Explosions at anti-government protests in Bangkok leave many people injured as the demonstrations enter their second week. And all eyes are on China as new growth figures are out shortly. Will it be good news for the world's second biggest economy? It's 9 in the morning here in Singapore.
And it's 1 in the morning here in London, broadcasting to viewers around the world. This is Newsday. Thanks for joining us. There are threats of a diplomatic standoff ahead of next week's planned Syrian peace talks in Switzerland. I'm Rico Hizon in Singapore. The headlines. France deploys more search teams to the Indian Ocean to look for missing flight MH370. The threat of storms, severe floods, and now mass evacuation as Typhoon Soudelor nears Taiwan.
I'm Kasia Madeira in London. The race is on. Republican Party's top candidates prepare to battle it out in a televised debate.
Your coffee?
Thank you, Uncle. Thank you. Huh? Macam okay?
Yeah, not bad, not bad.
Weather very hot, man.
And do you know your wow lao from your belanja? We take to the streets of Singapore to learn a little street English.
Live from our studios in Singapore and London. This is BBC World News. It's Newsday.
Hello everyone, it's 6 in the morning or 7 in the morning here in Singapore, and France is sending additional search teams to look. Hello everyone and welcome. You're watching Newsday on the BBC. I'm Rico Hizon in Singapore. The headlines. More violent clashes in Hong Kong. Police fire tear gas at protesters during another huge pro-democracy rally.
Riot police have come in to clear people out of this area. And this is now what's happening every weekend in Hong Kong.
Iran hoists its flag on the masthead of the captured UK tanker despite calls to defuse tensions.
Hello, I'm Ben Bland in London, also in the programme. Shinzo Abe looks to have won the upper house election, but is thwarted in his ambition to make major constitutional changes. Would you let a robot look after your children? Find out why it's a dilemma that families in Japan may be facing very soon.
Live from our studios in Singapore and London. This is BBC World News. It's Newsday.
Glad you could join us. It's 6 in the morning here in Singapore, 11 in the evening in London, and 6 a.m. in Hong Kong.
Welcome to Newsday. Reporting live from Singapore, I'm Karishma Vaswani. The headlines. A glimmer of hope in Ukraine. Russia says it'll scale back military operations around the capital, Kyiv.
The Ministry of Defense of the Russian Federation has taken the decision to drastically reduce combat operations in the Kyiv and Chernihiv areas in order to boost mutual trust.
But the US is warning Russia still has the capability to do great damage in Ukraine. Our other main stories for you today. At least 5 people have been killed in a shooting in Israel, the third such attack in the past week. After the parties, the fines. Police hand out punishments to UK government officials, and there could be more to come. And a helping hand for the Queen. She steps out in public for the first time in weeks alongside her son Prince Andrew as they commemorate the life of the Duke of Edinburgh.
Live from our studio in Singapore. This is BBC News. It's Newsday.
It's 8 in the morning here in Singapore and 3 a.m. in Kyiv, where there appears to be a glimmer of hope following peace talks between Russia and Ukraine.